All right. Hello, everybody out there. I'm Brenda Mahoney. I'm the librarian out of the Ottawa campus, and I have two library technicians with me today to help answer your questions, which you can post in the Q&A. And if they need to yell at me and tell me to show something to everybody, they'll do so. So it's Allison and Amy are with me. And we're going to introduce you to the library. I'm going to focus mostly on the online services because that is what we all seem to have available to us right now. And I have the agenda up on the screen. So you can look at that agenda and think about, if you had questions that you think may not be covered, please bring them up. I'll just give you a second to look at the agenda to see if there are particular library questions you have that you don't think we're going to cover. And you can let us know about those. So we're going to talk about the library, the services and collections, how to contact us. We're going to talk about the subject guides. I view the subject guides as the way to find out what the library has for your program. Okay, so when I go on the library website, algonquincollege.com/library, I'm going to want to go and see, is there a subject guide for my program? Because that will explain the different products we have, especially for you. It'll make a lot more sense over one search tool. Okay, then we'll get into a little bit more detail on the collection, our subscriptions and materials that we have available for you, and your library account to access all this stuff while you're off campus. So hopefully that is what you're waiting to have covered today from the library. Like I said, if you have any other questions, things you want to clarify, ask me to slow down, speed up, please put that in the Q&A, and Allison and Amy are there to assist there. All right. Okay, so we were so excited. We have 3 beautiful libraries in Ontario. We have Ottawa, Perth, and Pembroke. And we were very excited about having you all on campus, hopefully this term, but that has not turned out. So here are the beautiful pictures for you to enjoy. In general, we do have friendly staff willing to help you. We provide research support. When we're back on campus, we will supply again study space. Part of the library is also the Student Learning Center, or SLC. They provide peer tutoring and coaching. And I'm a little nervous now because Amy works with them, and I'm going to explain what they do. There are 2 services that the Student Learning Center offer. Coaching is for any student to take advantage of. So if you feel you need a little bit extra support in writing, math, chemistry, anatomy, those kinds of things, computing, you can apply for an appointment with the coach for an hour a week for free. Okay, and I believe they will have a conversation circle as well at some point this term. So this is a free service, and it's once a week for an hour or so as you feel you need the support. Peer tutoring is a little different. Peer tutoring is if you're in a course and you feel that if you do not have support throughout the course, you will not do as well as you hoped you would do. You can apply to the Student Learning Center for a peer tutor. A peer tutor is someone that has done the course before, gotten a good mark. The teacher has recommended that they would make a good peer tutor, and they've done the peer tutoring training. Okay, so that is a fee involved because we do pay our peer tutors. There are ways and groups that get the fee waived, but the Student Learning Center people would know more about that than I would. So if there's any questions about the Student Learning Center, peer tutoring and coaching, Amy is here. You can put the questions into the Q&A so she can ask them. We have an expert, something I don't always have. All right, we offer, of course, print and electronic collections. We'll talk about the mix of the collections shortly. We do normally offer borrowing from other libraries and do permit our students to borrow individually or personally from other libraries, but during COVID right now, that is not happening. We offer workshops, and you have found one of our workshops. Please view our website to find out other workshops that we offer. And we do offer support to students that have accessibility needs. So that's just some of the services that we offer. Now, how would you connect or reach out and touch the library if you want to? You could call us or visit us in person. Right now, that service is not available. Stay tuned. There are changes happening very quickly. If you think you're going into one of our locations, always check our website because things are changing. So check our hours and availability to see if there are physical people on campus or not. The Ottawa campus is a little unique in that it has no doors. So the space is always available. Okay, so the library space is the third floor of C building at the Ottawa campus, overlooking our beautiful courtyard. That's where the library space is. So that space is available for studying. There are some desktops there. There are printers and photocopiers. Okay, just at this time, we do not have staff on site. Okay, if you do need to talk to us online, we do have a chat service. It's called Ask the Library. So you can text with the library. So when we go live in a few minutes to the library website, you will see the chat button on our page. When it's available, the chat button is green for go. And we offer chat services from 8 to 8, Monday to Thursday, and 8 to 5 on Fridays. So that's how you can contact one of our staff if you need to, or if you have questions. Okay. You can book a research support appointment if you want to spend more time, if you want help with an assignment, if you want to learn how to use one of our products, if you want help building your search strategy to find resources, we're available for that. If there is a time that doesn't work for you available in our schedule of available appointments, please contact us at our email, library@algonquincollege.com, and we'll try to work out an appointment time that'll work for you. Questions that come in through Ask and come in through the library@algonquincollege.com email, we create records of those questions, and we have placed them into our searchable FAQs, or frequently asked questions. So if you have a question at a time where there's no one available on the chat, you can search the FAQs to see if someone has already asked that question and there's an answer for that. Okay. No, the question there was just, can books be picked up during 8 to 8? Right now, we have no staff on campus, so you have no access to the print collection in person. I will explain how you can access the collection by placing a hold on the collection in a few moments. Okay, so I will get to that. That was a very good question, because I know some people will want to use the print collection. So I will explain how that can be done with nobody on campus. All right, so these are all the ways that you can contact us when there is no one on campus. Okay, we're hoping to get back to having people on campus at least 8 to 4 or 9 to 5 soon. All right. Okay, so we will look at the subject guide shortly. We'll go live and hope everything works well. The subject guides, again, are to introduce what the library has for your program. Okay, so you'll learn a little bit more about what kind of collections we have. The subject guides also are used to introduce or support something that you're doing. So we have guides that talk about how to use citation formatting, how to use certain databases, how to use your ebooks, and things like that. So I'll show you where those are. Okay, and now we're going to talk about the mix of the collection. What is the library collection made up of? All right, a 30-70 split in our collection. 30% would be physical items, so books that you could borrow, and 70% are online subscriptions. Now, I'm going to use 700 different words to refer to these online subscriptions in this session alone. So what are they? Online subscriptions are materials that the library pays for so that you, students, faculty, and staff can have access to that content, okay? To get the content, we have to go to many different providers to get the right mix of content. And the mix of content that we're trying to provide you is materials that are not available free on the internet or not even findable on the internet. You might find them on the internet and they may ask you to pay for them, or you can't find them at all, okay? So for an individual to access this stuff, they would have to pay. So we are paying, the library is paying the subscriptions on your part to access this material just for Algonquin people. So our mix of online resources, databases, subscriptions, digital resources, all those names mean the same thing. We have ebooks, we have streaming video, and we have three kinds of streaming video. We have educational video, we have tutorials, and we have some enjoyable video content. Okay, so that's nice to know. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A. We've got people watching the Q&A that can answer your questions for you. All right, scholarly and trade journals. So if for those of you that have to do research where you're concerned about academic content, we have scholarly and trade journals. These are for professionals, written by professionals. All our newspaper and magazine content is online and subscribed. And then we have some specialty content. So all our case law for the paralegal, police, public safety areas, that's all online database content. We have some business content like industry profiles, that's all online. Okay, so the mix of the collection, you can see it's very heavy on online. All right, and actually, if we look at the ebooks compared to the print books, if I put Perth, Pembroke, and Ottawa's collection together, that's about 50,000 books. Okay, and yes, if you're at Ottawa, you can bring a book that you see from Perth to Ottawa and vice versa. We can do that. Okay, but our online ebook collection is 275,000. So if you cannot come on campus, don't feel too sad. You still have a lot of content that you can access, actually more of the ebooks versus our print collection. Right, so that's the mix of collection. Okay, all right, so just to give you an idea of how you can search this collection, there's several different ways you can do it. We have what we call our One Search tool. And when we go to the library website, you're going to see that the One Search tool takes up a lot of space on the library website. And that's because we're trying to communicate to students that we'll never speak to, that might come onto the library website and wonder how it works. So we've made One Search really big and made it sort of googly looking. So a student will come onto the library website and think, this looks like a search engine, right? But you may not know what it's searching. All right, so what the One Search is searching is the content that we subscribe to and the print collections. So you can see on my little diagram here that the One Search has underneath it the library catalog. So the library catalog used to be where you'd go to find print books and DVDs. Okay, now we have print books, ebooks, and the streaming video in the library catalog. So that content is being pulled up into One Search. So you have a choice between searching in the One Search or focusing on the content in the library catalog. Okay, so if you're in the library catalog, you're just going to get books, ebooks, and video. Okay, if you're in the One Search, you're going to get that content plus the content from the online resources. Okay, so here we're calling them digital resources. So the mix is the scholarly journals, the trade journals, different kinds of streaming video, different kinds of tutorials, reports, statistics, news articles, all that content. So your search in One Search will search across all the resources we have, almost, okay, in One Search. That's how we got the name. And the One Search actually has some nice tools in it that Google doesn't have that helps you search and reveal the content you're looking for faster. So now you know what the One Search is when you go to our page and you see it. All right, so when would you search the One Search and when would you search a single database or package or bundle or single subscription? Okay, you would search a single database if it was not able to be searched in One Search. We have a couple of products that are so complicated they can't work with the One Search. So definitely that would be the legal resources for sure. So these are resources that your faculty will let you know that you have to search individually. How would you find out about that? You would find out about that in your subject guides, which we will look at. You can also use the single databases when you want to focus your search on a database that only has content for a particular discipline, like a business database or a nursing database, or a particular kind of content like videos or newspapers. Okay. The situation with the OneSearch is a little weird in that to make the OneSearch work, we take all these different companies and make them work together. Okay, so that's to get the right mix of resources for all the programs at Algonquin. We have to work with multiple companies. Okay, each company thinks their search engine is the best, so they're all different. Okay, so when I search in individual databases, I will have to learn how that database searches. It might search similar to the OneSearch or a little different. Okay, so this is, I consider, one of the pluses of being in the OneSearch. Not only does it let me search across most of the resources the Algonquin Library has, but while I'm in it, the search engine works the same. Okay, but if I go out and search individual database, it might look different than the OneSearch. So if you're doing a really big, broad search at the beginning, the OneSearch is a good place to start because you have one search way to search and you find out what we have across the library. Okay. So just remember that when you're in an individual, when you're in an individual database, it may look different than your experience with the OneSearch. Okay. Okay. All right, so now I have to mention your library account. Very important. Please pay attention. Your library account is what authenticates you as an Algonquin student. So it tells the very dumb computers that you are signed up for Algonquin and you are permitted to come behind our firewall and view all the subscribed material that the library has for you. Okay, so you need that account. All right, so your account is made up of a login and a PIN. Your login is your student number, and your PIN is the last 4 numbers of your student number. Okay, do not worry, do not panic if you think I'll never remember that. The login page through the library, if you click on any of the subscribed resources on the library page, a login window will come up. It'll be very friendly Algonquin green, and it will remind you what your login and PIN are. Okay, because I forget all the time, so it's good to have a reminder. Your library account also permits you to manage your borrowings, your checkouts from the print collection. Okay, so with your library account, you can extend a loan period for a print book. Normally, you could borrow a print book for 2 weeks. You can extend that twice. So if you extend that or renew that online, you can have a book for 6 weeks. Okay. You can place a hold on a book in the library catalog or in the OneSearch. Okay. This is really, really super important right now. Placing holds on items to request them through the library account or through the catalog is the way you borrow right now. Okay, so you cannot go into the library collections right now or check out items because there's no one there. So the staff will get a message from you when you place a hold, get those items that you're requesting ready for you, and then email you to tell you that they're ready to pick up and how to pick them up. Okay, I'll review this one more time again because I don't think I explained that very well. Also, your account permits you to pay your late fines. We're not being terribly strict about the late fines currently because of the things that are going on. What is important to us is that you get the book you need and we eventually get the books back. That's really important to us. All right, so I'm going to go over the borrowing again in a minute. Okay, don't worry. For those of you that want to use the print collection, I have a slide coming up. We'll review it. And when we go live, I will demo how to place a hold. Okay, all right. So this is my screen that is a reminder to me to tell you that we have 2 databases that you log in with using your network account, not your library account. And I put the screen in and I actually added the login screen so you can see a picture of what the login screen will look like when we go live. Okay, so this is what the login screen will look like, but I put the screen here to show you that and to remind me to tell you that we have 2 databases that use your network account. Okay, one is called LinkedIn Learning, right? So LinkedIn Learning is a tutorial database. It's a database where you can watch a single video to learn more about something, or you can take a course in video format to learn more about something. So it could be something you're learning in class or something additional that you want to learn. Okay, it's very heavy on business related things, but also does a lot of stuff for education and job searching and improving your skills. So LinkedIn Learning is related to the networking app LinkedIn. Okay, so you would use your network account for Algonquin to create a LinkedIn Learning account. And because this is a little complicated, we do have a subject guide. So we'll look at them when we go there on LinkedIn Learning, so you can learn how to set up your account. Many faculty use LinkedIn Learning videos in their Brightspace course, so it's a good idea to know or have an account all set up before your classes start. The other product that uses your network account is called Safari by O'Reilly. The library originally had Safari by O'Reilly as an ebook package. So it's our biggest ebook package for technology and for business. So that's what we had it for. That's what it contained. Then I think they decided they wanted to compete with LinkedIn. So they added video tutorials as well. So these are both tutorial databases, but I think the LinkedIn Learning one has the most diverse content that would be of interest to all students. Okay, so remember, network account. Everything else from the library uses your library account to authenticate and log in. All right, so I can review and make sure I explain this properly to you. Borrowing of print resources. How do we do it right now? Okay, so this is how you do it. And you need 3 things to borrow physically from the collection. Okay, you need a student card, which is also your library card. Okay, so if you came on campus to borrow something, you need your student card to prove that you are from Algonquin College. You need to be able to come on campus to pick up the item and to return the item. Okay, and you need your library account to place a hold in the OneSearch or the library catalog, so the library staff gets the message to prepare the item for you. Okay, does that explain it a little bit better where you can see the information? Okay, so you should already have your library account. It's pretty well automatic. Coming on campus or not, that's up to you. Remember, we have all those ebooks available. Okay. Your student card, you can apply for it online through algonquincollege.com/card-services, but you do have to come on campus and pick up your student card. Okay. Any questions about that? I will demo how to place a hold in a moment. Okay. Just want to make sure that you can use the on-campus materials. All right, so I think now we're ready to go live. So we're going to look at the subject guides, and we're going to look at how to search using the OneSearch and the individual databases. You can get a student card as long as you're registered for Algonquin. That's all you need. All right, so I'm going to try to share and not lose you all. Okay, so hopefully I am sharing correctly the library website with you live. So now anything could happen. Okay, so we're at algonquincollege.com/library. As I said, the OneSearch takes up a huge amount of space. It does have a search box, so you might think, it's like Google. So it is like Google. If you're good at online searching, you'll be great at OneSearch. And if you're good at OneSearch searching, you'll be good at Google searching. The difference is that OneSearch searches just library content. Okay, so the searches will be big in terms of results, but not as big as when you do in Google. Okay, the other thing is that in OneSearch, the content will be there for you. We've paid for it. So almost 99% of the time, the material we find, magazine, journal, books, video, will be available. Okay, and clickable and right there. Right. The other thing that OneSearch adds is because it's a more controlled environment than Google, is that it adds extra search refine tools, limiters, refine tools in it. So you can think about the type of assignment you're doing. Okay, I need to find scholarly articles. You can limit your search to scholarly articles in OneSearch. I need to find things that are current between the last 5 years, you can set your search to just search for content the last 5 years. You can get help for your keywords, the right words to use in the search box to improve your search. Okay, so there's lots of extra help tools in there as well. Okay, so how do you find out if we have specific databases for you? How do you find out what type of content we have? Okay, the idea is that you would go and check your subject guide. So we're always trying to encourage your teachers to add subject guide into your courses so you know what the library has. So here's our subject guides. So we're going to go into them. They are like the secret way to learn about what the library has. So we do two things with them. One is to tell you what we have for program, and the second is to support different library-related things like how to research, how to use our tools, things like that. So I said I was going to show you that there was a help file or a subject guide on LinkedIn Learning. So we're going to find that one first. So you can see some of the areas are about the library. So that would be subject guides about how to do something with the library, sort of borrowing, interlibrary loans, and accessibility. Okay. Then there's essential skills and library how-to. So essential skills is a good area to see the different types of guides we have to support you as a student. So there is the LinkedIn Learning Guide. So if you want to learn how to set up your account and how to manage your account within LinkedIn Learning, this is where you have the information online to help you with that. Essential study guides. Okay, so everything you ever wanted to know about how to improve your study skills. There is also a workshop to go with this. English communication guide, which I use because everyone needs a little bit of help communicating, especially writing papers. Our most popular guide is citing sources and avoiding plagiarism. This is an issue that's very important at the college. So we try to include information to support students in learning about what plagiarism is, how to avoid it, and what different citation tools are available. Okay, if you have a question, please put it into the Q&A. My lovely assistants are here to answer those questions or to get my attention. All right, so now we're going to look at the subject guides or the program guides. First person that puts in the chat their program, that's the guide we're going to look at. So put in the chat your program. We'll see if we have a guide for you, and we'll use that as an example. So I'm going to go down and look at the chat. Program management was put in. Okay. All right. So program management, if our big groupings don't make sense to you, it's okay. You can also look at them by alphabet, okay? But program management is under business. So I can see all the different business guides here, okay? So I can go into the program management guide. So the way we approached building the guides was that we thought about what do we have and what would a student be looking for, okay? So we usually have 3 of the same tabs in each guide. Okay, so we explain how to find books and video from the library, a little bit more about the databases, the subscriptions, and web resources. Okay, you can also see that this guide has an additional tab on how to find business cases because your faculty told me that this was important. So they wanted a special tab in there to how to find business cases within our products. Some of our guides will have specialty tabs like this. Okay, all of our guides have citing sources and avoiding plagiarism. Those 2 guides are in all the guides because it's so important and we want it to be accessible to you. Research report guide is there, and the FAQs, frequently asked questions, is there. So those, we try to put these things in all the guides because we think they're important to all students. Okay, so what happens when you go into the guide? If I go into ebooks and videos, I'm going to go into the ebook tab. Okay, so I'm in the ebook tab. What's in there? Okay, so what we do is we try to give you a little sampling to get you interested on the type of ebooks we have. Okay, so if I was to click on any of these to access them, I would have to use my library account to come behind the firewall to prove that I am an Algonquin student to access these resources. Okay, so if you think, ooh, that looks interesting, and you want to find out some books that we have the search built in right here to search for ebooks. Okay, so we try to put the tools that go with the thing we're showing you right there. We remind you about the login, just in case you need it. Okay, and depending on the page, there could be more information here or less. So online video, I can take a look at as well. Okay, again, here are some suggestions or examples of types of videos that we have for your program areas. You can see and get interested. And then we mention some of the products we subscribe to. So this is probably your first time seeing some of the database names or the subscription names we have. So you can see for project management, we specifically mention LinkedIn Learning and Safari by O'Reilly. Okay, they're very important. Your teachers will be using video from these databases in your course. So it's a great place to go and explore. Okay, and then we also have Films on Demand. Films on Demand is a lovely little video product because I can not only watch a whole video in it or a little piece of a video, I can harvest a piece of the video to put in a PowerPoint or a Prezi to take up some time in a presentation if it's applicable. So you do have that. Okay, so each page you learn a little bit more about how the OneSearch works and what individual products we have for you, because you might not have a single idea of what we have. All right, so I'm going to go up again. And under databases, it might also say articles. Under databases where we list or try to recommend the best collections, individual collections for your program area. Okay. So again, I have a mini search here for journals or ebooks, just in case. Maybe your teacher mentions a journal or magazine in class and says, you know, this journal is really important. Everyone in your field reads it. It's how you keep up with your profession. You're like, oh, that's a really expensive journal. I can't afford that. So you can come in here and search that title and find out that we have it in one of our databases and you can read it online for free. Okay. The other way you can use this tool is you're searching on the web. You have to find articles. You're finding all the good articles you want to access. Google is saying you have to pay for them. Okay, take the name of the journal, magazine, newspaper, put it in this tool. You can find it. We have it. If we have it, you can access that article that Google wants you to pay for free. So this is a nice tool. Saves you time, saves you money. Okay, so then I have a list of some of the individual databases. Okay, these are all coming from different companies. So if I had to search them individually, each search would be maybe, you know, the start button will be here. This database does a limit by number of pages per article. This database does, they'll all do slightly different things. And I'll have a different look and feel. So if I have to search multiple individual databases, it's a good technique, but it's a little frustrating that you have to learn individual different search engines. But if I go into the OneSearch, I'm searching almost all of these and the search will be the same, no matter which company they come from. Okay, so for business, Business Source Complete is our big, huge database. So that one's really important. But there might be content in these other databases. So that's why it's nice to be able to use OneSearch and search across. You'll find content in databases that if you read the description, you would never have thought it had good stuff for you. Okay, and then in the subject guides, we also get the chance to put important notes like this one, which says that Canadian business and current affairs is not searchable in the OneSearch. So if I want to do a really good Canadian content search, I would have to know that this database existed. How did I find out? I went into my subject guide and saw that note. Okay, so we try to tell you things like that in here as well. And we also put some featured journals that faculty recommended that are important in here, and they're all clickable and accessible because they're in one of the databases that we're paying for. All right. Okay, so we can go back. And finally, web resources. Why do we put web resources in there? Because all of you certainly can search the web. It's because a web search sometimes does not bring up what you think it's going to bring up, and there's clutter. So these are websites that we have found when we're helping students in programs like yours with assignments like yours. We think, every time we're helping someone with this assignment, we recommend this website. Maybe there's a way we could share it. Or teachers say, can you share this really important link to students? This is where we put them. Okay, so your subject guide is the starting point to learn about the library and a little bit more about the research needs that you will have and where to find good quality, well-maintained content. Okay, right. So now we're ready to do a little bit exploration of the OneSearch. So we're almost done. For those of you that are, at the end of how much you can listen to my voice. I've been recording myself, so I know that's difficult. All right, so back to the OneSearch. How does it work? Okay, so the OneSearch is pulling up content from the catalog, okay, or from the various different digital resources, which are the individual products. So you can make a decision. Do you want to search one of the individual resources or the catalog to begin with? That means your search will be smaller. Okay, less cluttered. And if you're looking for something very specific, you might find it faster because there's less clutter in the list. When I'm searching in OneSearch, I'm getting content from all the products. So I have to use the refined tools to declutter my list. So if I knew I wanted books, ebooks, or videos, I can do that in OneSearch, or I can come into the catalog and search that content. Okay, and my search will be smaller. For example, okay, so I'm in the catalog. So when I'm in the catalog, just going to move things around. See where it says my account? That is where your library account lives, where you take care of the items that you have borrowed. So this is where you can renew. This is where you can pay fines. And this is where it keeps track of how many holds you have. All right. So the library catalog also lets you do a little bit more complex searching if you're looking for the content that's in it. Each database is different. The catalog is nothing but a database. So if you see here, I can search just the electronic collection. So just books and video, the physical collection, or the physical collection at a specific campus. Okay, so your search, if you search just for the Woodruff, which is the Ottawa campus, your search will be much smaller than if you searched the physical collection at all 3 campuses. So you can really narrow it down. Okay, then you can search by different fields. So if you know the author or the title of the book or item you're looking for, that's a really fast search. Most of you are more familiar with a subject search or keyword search, because that's what you're doing in Google. Okay, so if I just search for a business in here, okay, so I'm just searching a very small search. Actually, business was not a great topic to choose. Okay, I've got a vast quantity of content. So let's make this a little bit more specific. So we can compare a search in a single database, which is the catalog, versus the OneSearch. I think that'll be better. Okay, so global warming, I've got 775 possible items. So they're going to be one of 3 types. Okay, so I'm going to try to find a book so I can show you how to place a hold on it. Right, so I can use the tools over here to limit or change the list of resources I have in the middle. Okay, so I can see here that this is an electronic book. So maybe I decided that I would prefer a print book. So you can come over here and you can limit to the search that way. Okay, there we go. So limit results, library. Do you want digital resources? Do you want stuff from Pembroke, Perth, or Woodruff? Let's say I want stuff just from Woodruff campus. Let's say include. And waiting for the search to search. Okay, so my results are much smaller because now I just have physical items at the Ottawa campus. So let's say I would like to borrow this book, Global Warming. Okay, so what I would do is I would click on the title of the item. Okay, for those of you that use the public library, this will make a lot of sense. and you will see this button that says place hold. Okay, so we're going to place a hold on the item. It's going to ask you for your student and staff number. Remember that typing in your number, you're going to make mistakes. So if you type it in, it doesn't load, close your window, open it again, try it again. If there's problems, then go to the button on the website, the Library Live Chat, right down here. And we need your name and your student number and what error you're getting. And we'll find out what's going wrong with your account. Okay, so log in. I forgot my PIN. No, I didn't. See? That just illustrates it. There we go. So it's saying, okay, you want this book, Global Warming. What campus do you want to pick it up on? Okay, so you choose the library nearer to you. The deal is that the Ottawa campus is the only one that does not restrict you to time for pickup. Okay, at the Ottawa campus, we have contactless pickup. So that means that you can come to the library anytime, day or night. You would go to the 3rd floor of C building with your student card. You would go to what we call our book locker, and you would scan your student card there, and the item will be in a drawer, and the drawer will open, and you can take it. It's checked out to you. Okay. The other campuses, there has to be times during the day where there's staff there, so you can pick up your holds. All right. So once you place the hold and it's ready to go, that library will send you an email that lets you know how to pick up the item. Okay, but there's no restrictions to time for the Woodruff/Ottawa campus. So I can say Ottawa and I can place the hold. Okay, so that sends a message to the library staff to prepare the item for you. Okay, did that help a little bit, that you could see how that's done? Okay, you can do that in the OneSearch also, but I just thought if you know you're looking for a book, it's a smaller search results here. You can find stuff faster. Okay. All right, so let's explore a little bit under digital resources, individual databases. Again, you will see the names of the individual databases in the subject guides. That's when it'll recommend which ones are good for you. So you'll now know some names. And if you want to focus your search, maybe you want to go into one that's on a particular database content type. Okay, so maybe you want to search just the online videos, so you can see a list of all the video products we have. Or you want to you want to search by subject. So you can see here, look how big, community and social science, 46 different databases. Do you want to individually search 46 different databases that all search differently? Okay, 1 or 2, maybe not 46. So this is why the OneSearch comes in handy. When I'm in the OneSearch, I'm searching almost all these in one search. Okay. If you know the name of a database, the teacher mentioned it, or you saw it in the subject guide, you can find it in our A to Z list. Okay, so let's find LinkedIn Learning. L for LinkedIn Learning. There it is. And I'm going to open my version of LinkedIn Learning just to show you what's in it, because I keep saying it's important and it's wonderful. Okay, so there we are. So this is what I do with LinkedIn Learning. It is related to LinkedIn. Okay, and you can see that it's always sending me notifications according to the stuff I've been searching. So it's saying, oh, you searched on this topic. Here's something new on that topic. So it pushes a lot. I can search across the content, or I can browse. Okay, so browsing just gives you an idea of the type of content that's in it. It is very business heavy, but career development stuff is good for everybody. Okay. Customer service is amazingly important for a large number of fields, including mine. Professional development is very important for many people. Okay, and training and education. Okay, so you can training education. So you can search by browsing, or you can decide, okay, I'd like to know more about using Zoom. So LinkedIn Learning is another database with a completely different search window because it comes from a different company. Okay, so it says that I have 5,814 possible video or content on Zoom. All right, That's a bit much. So how is it showing it to me? It's showing to me by best match. I can also see it by popular or the newest, okay? So you have a lot of abilities to change around what you see. You're not stuck with that list. So I can search by type. Do I want a course? So an ongoing thing that I want to do multiple videos? Do I want to watch a single video just to learn about Zoom? Do I want to pick how long the video is? Maybe I only have a little bit of time. And do I want to pick the level? Okay, so the video content in here is quite approachable, and the way you can search, you can really fit it to your needs. Okay, I just want you to just see LinkedIn Learning. All right. So now we're going to do a search in the OneSearch. Okay. All right. So I logged in earlier, so it may not ask me to log in again. So I'm going to use global warming that I used in the catalog. Remember, the catalog is only searching books, ebooks, and video. Okay. So this search, because it's adding all the content from the digital resources, should have a higher rate of results. Okay. So I'm going to click search. Normally when I click search is where I would have gotten the login window, but I logged in when I went into my account to show you how to place a hold. So the window may remember that I just did it. All right. Okay. So the results of my search will be the middle of the screen. The things I can do to refine or change my search will be down the side, the left-hand side of the screen. Okay. So like Google, you're going to get a fairly big search. Google would be much larger than this. Okay. Because we're only searching what the library has. Okay. We can see our results by relevance. That means that the items that we get have to be described by the word that we searched for. Okay, so it's not popularity. It's not how Google does it. It's the words have to describe what the item is about. Okay, you can also change your search and look at it by date newest. Okay, so the new items will be on top. Okay, so we can see I've got ebooks. Okay, video recordings, ebooks. I'm seeing a lot of that content on top. Let's go and refine our search. The best way to refine our search, of course, is always to add words to your search. A good search is 3 words or more. Just excuse me 1 second. My throat is dry. I am back. Thank you. So let's refine this list and change it. So if I change it to show date newest first, my results are going to change. So all those videos are gone further down the list. They're not gone, they're still there, but they're further down the list. So now the first item I'm seeing is December 2022. Okay, so I'm starting to see items show up that are very, very new. Over on this side, the left-hand side, were all the tools that you can look at your assignment requirements and you can choose settings to make the search exactly what you're looking for. I hope that you will explore this whole list of different things that you can do. I'm just going to point out the first 2 boxes. My favorite list is the source types list. So if I open show more and open the list, I can see that this 500,000 results, this is the index of what type of resources I have. So if my assignment said you need to use academic scholarly resources, I can click it and I will get rid of everything else. If I just wanted magazines, okay, trade publications, reports. What are we seeing? There's books, audio, ebooks, and video. Okay, so I can limit my search to either of these contents right here. Okay, so I love that index. The box above it will have some of these choices in it, of course. Okay, these are what we chose after watching what students choose the most when they're searching. So students want full text. That means if there's an article, I don't want one of the articles that they won't give me right away. I want an article that I can access today. Okay. I want scholarly journals. Okay, so for many of you, you might have to look for scholarly academic content, and it might be your first time doing that. This button will help me not mistake a magazine article for a scholarly journal article. So now my search is just academic journals. Okay, so you won't make a mistake adding a newspaper in, right? You can also do your limit to print or ebooks. Okay, it's in here. Okay, so you don't have to go back out and do it. You can do it in here, or you can limit by date. Okay, a lot of times the topics you're searching are going to be current. So 1901 is way too old for the requirements of your paper. So you can either drag the bar to change the dates, or you can type in the time period you would like the resources to be in. And that will make your results list smaller. So we got rid of half of them, right? Okay, so I didn't mention about the ebooks. I'm just going to limit to the ebooks for a second. Our ebooks are available to you two ways, okay? They're either going to be both or one or the other, okay? So they're either going to be able for you to read them on screen or download, okay? Most students I'm noticing are reading the ebooks on screen, but if you download, think of it like a checkout. Okay, I'm just going to click the download. So when I want to download the book, it's asking me to remove the book from the shelf. So I have to log in with an account I create. So I create an account. You have to do it at least twice for 2 products to create an account on the platform the ebook lives on. Okay, so that permits you to download it on another device or use it when you're not on the internet. Okay. The second thing it's going to ask you is, do you have an ebook reader? If you do not have an ebook reader, it'll prompt you to download a free ebook reader. Okay. And the amount of time you can have the ebook depends on the publisher. So I'm just opening the information page about the ebook. I want to see if they have the information there. Okay. Right. So this one has, you can print, email, or save 100 pages. And as many students as I want can use the book. Okay. So that means if all of us download this book today, a person tomorrow could still download this book. Okay. If there was only one copy and we download it, it's like checking it out. It's gone until you return it. You do not have to return ebooks. They're usually set for a certain period of time. After the period of time is up, they will disappear from your device. Okay. But I do notice a lot of people read them online. So let's do a search of magazines between a certain time period on global warming. Okay, and I will show you one last thing and then we're done. Okay, so I want them between 2015 and 2022. Okay, and I want magazines. Okay, so all the databases we have know that you are an academic. They know you're at an academic institution. So they know that if you're writing papers, essays, and projects, that you have to cite the material you're using, your source material in your project, to make sure that the reader doesn't assume that images, ideas, and words are yours. Okay, if you're letting someone think that someone else's images, words, or ideas are yours, then you're committing plagiarism. So by citing something, tell the reader that it comes from another source, you are avoiding plagiarism. Okay, a lot of people get very stressed about citation. Okay, don't get stressed. You know that we have a subject guide to support you. Okay, also, all the databases that we have at the college are built for academic institutions. They know you're going to have to cite. So they give you help with the citation and referencing. Okay, so I'm just going to pick an item. So you can see the citation tools somewhere on the page. Okay, so if I open the full text for this article, I'm going to see some additional tools. And a lot of students are so happy to get an article, they print it and move on, right? Or save it and move on. Don't do that. Read your screen. So here I can see that this article can be saved to Google Drive. I can add it to a folder, which is a complicated thing you need an account here for. So don't do it if you don't make an account. Print, email, excellent to email if you're working in a group, save, and cite. When you are using APA, IEEE, MLA, whatever citation format you're using, you're going to cite and reference. So that word should make you excited. So if we click the cite button, what does this database give us? This database gives us a list of references for this article should I use it in a paper I'm writing. So what is the proper reference? So you can see the different types. The most used format at Algonquin College right now for citation is American Psychological Association 7th edition. So this here would be the reference works cited for the last part of your paper where you list all the resources that you used. So I have my author, I have my publication date, I have the title of where it came from, the volume number, and the page number. Okay, so it has almost all the information you need in one shot. Okay, so that's one less thing you have to worry about if you know that this type of content is available to you when you search in the databases. Okay, so that is what I wanted to try to cover. You've been incredibly patient. I hope your questions in Q&A have been answered. Do you have any final questions? Amy and Allison have been really good about answering all the questions. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's a lot of information. You can book an appointment with the library through chat or through library at Algonquin College if you want a personal look at the databases. Okay, so we can do that as well. So if you feel you need a little bit more support, please let us know. Media and Design does have several guides that we have prepared for them. You would find them on the subject guide page. Just go there. Okay, so I can go under Art and Design. I can see mobile application development there. Art and Design Studies, I probably go into that one, but you would also overlap into the other guides as well. They are recording this video. I just don't know where they're going to place it after. I believe it's going to be in the resources for ACD1, where they're going to be putting material. And there's a question there about, I don't see any books. So the book content, we did take a look at the content in the catalog. And when you're in the OneSearch, you can limit your search to looking for just the print books. Okay, but you do have to come on campus to get the print books. Very interesting. Our collection is very, very, very based on school topics. Our collection is not as broad as what you would find at a public library. So while we do have some leisure reading materials, we do not have a lot of it. Unfortunately, that would be a public library. Okay, and if you don't have questions, you can leave. If you have questions, please stay and ask the question. You pop it into the Q&A. And again, I think the video will be provided in the online resources for AC Day 1. Okay, if you'd like to book an appointment, it'd be library@algonquincollege.com. If you're only using the online collection, you do not need to worry about your student card at this time. Okay, if that makes you feel any better. All right. Well, thank you very much. This was great to spend time with you and introduce the library to you. I hope you do find it very useful. All right. Thanks and have a really good term. I really hope it will be excellent for you. Okay, bye-bye.